Hi, welcome to the Finding the Magic podcast. I'm Trisha Copeland, author and host for this show. Many times I will have a guest author join us, but today I'm taking a break from that routine to bring you some thoughts on my least favorite character, not my least favorite character, my reader's least favorite character from my Kingdom Journal series. The Kingdom Journal series is an urban fantasy series. It's contemporary, so set in modern times. The vampires in the Kingdom Journal series are a branch of humans. So they're not magic, they're not made vampires, they're born vampires. But not like many vampires from other series, they have super senses. They can see better, they can hear better, they can smell better. They're faster, they're strong. In addition, in my series, their body temperature and metabolism is a lot higher. So they can't let normal humans touch them, or they can't go to the doctor because the doctors and the normal humans would discover they exist. They can't eat anything that's not natural. So anything that has additives, chemicals, or that is processed makes them ill, makes them sick. So they have to eat all natural foods. So they have several challenges fitting in modern society. And Alena especially has these challenges as a 17-year-old vampire witch hybrid. She goes to high school. Her mother sends her to high school, even though most vampires, most young, I guess, school-age vampires, would be sent to vampire school. Alena is sent to a normal high school. Her mother believes in, I guess, quote unquote, mainstreaming her into human society. So she's sent to normal high school. So she has that challenge. In addition, she has several other challenges in the book, and her personality reflects all of these challenges. So first, she's a vampire witch hybrid, a being that is forbidden by vampire laws, and she doesn't know who her father is. Her mother knows or tells her who her father is, only that he stays away to keep him safe. She's never met him, and she doesn't know who he is. So that's a huge question mark in her life. Second, vampire witch hybrids aren't, as I said, aren't supposed to exist. So she has to keep her witch nature hidden from all the vampires that she knows. Adding to this, her mother is a vampire chancellor. So she's like the president, the boss of all the vampires. So it is very important that they keep her nature hidden from everyone. The humans at school can't know she's a vampire or a witch, or know that even vampires or witches exist. The vampires in her life can't know that she's a witch. So there's only 3 people in her life who she can trust with this huge secret. Her mother, Anne, who is the vampire chancellor. She's a 400-year-old vampire. Vampires live about 1,000 years, so they live a lot longer than normal humans, but they can die by many means: guns, explosives, knives. They don't get sick, like they don't get diseases or illnesses, but they can die. But they live a long time. So her mother is 400 years old. She's the vampire chancellor, as I said. She lives with Elizabeth, who is her mother's, not lifelong friend, but a couple of centuries old friend. Elizabeth is 600 years old, and she serves as her pseudo grandmother type. And she lives with Orm, who is a witch, and he's a very old witch as well, 500, 600-year-old witch. Now I'm trying to remember my facts from my own series here. But she lives with Orm, who is her mentor and witch trainer and grandfather for all intensive purposes. Her mother is searching for something that Alena is not sure what it is. But her mother always needs Alena to be there when she goes on these little excursion hunts. And at first, Alena thinks that her mother is searching for her father. But then Alena realizes each time they go on these little excursions, her mother has her see a human teen male, or someone who might be a human teen male. So Alena starts to think that her mother is looking for another vampire witch hybrid. And why? Alena doesn't know. I mean, Alena thinks, oh, is she looking for a mate for me? Oh, that's kind of gross and weird. So Alena sets out to discover exactly what her mother is looking for. She goes behind her mother's back, does a little bit of lying to her mother and Orm and Elizabeth to try to discover this big mystery thing that her mother is looking for. Who she finds in this search is Hunter. And Hunter is a character who used to be her imaginary friend when she was in preschool. So when she was in preschool, she had this friend. She actually had two friends that she would play with. And her parents, well, she was only 4, but her mother, not her parents, I guess, her mother and Elizabeth and Orm always thought she was just making it up in her head. And her friends, who she had named Ivy and Chase because Ivy had green eyes and Chase because he liked to chase them, were just imaginary and figments of her imagination, games a child who had no other friends made up. But when she sees Hunter, she realizes he is eerily familiar and the person from her childhood imaginary friends. And he recognizes her as well. And they're totally freaked out. Like, how can this be real that they could have interacted and played together and recognized each other as these imaginary friends from preschool? What they come to believe is that they are two of a trinity of special witches. I don't want to give too much of the plot away in this book, but I wanted to bring all this to light to help explain some of Alena's personality traits and what drives her in the series. I have had comments in my reviews like, it wasn't right that Alena lied to her mother about trying to find out the mystery. And I thought, well, you know, Alena's mother didn't give much away, so she wasn't being upfront with her either. So it was rational in my mind that Alena would go look in searching for this huge mystery in her life. I mean, she doesn't know who her father is. Like, please tell me something about who I am, where I came from, what that means for my future. So in short, Alena has a lot to deal with. Her vampire nature and all the challenges she has in her life shape her personality. And she comes across as being a little snooty, arrogant, bossy, anxious, over emotional, but she has a huge heart. Like, she's just trying to figure out the truth. And she's just trying to do what's right for herself and her people that are, and for other people that are like her. She's this hybrid and she has to hide all the time and she hates it. She doesn't want to be like that. She doesn't want to live like that. And for anyone else who might be like her, she would want them to be able to live their authentic selves as well. So all of these things shape Alena's personality. And I hope that you can remember that and bring that into your evaluation of her when you're reading the book. So next time you're reading a Kingdom Journals book and you're thinking, oh, I don't like this chick, she's grating my every nerve. Yeah, because like everything's louder, everything's brighter. She feels things more intensely than us normal humans do. So her personality is going to reflect that. So I would love your feedback on Alena's character, and if it's okay to create characters that aren't warm and fuzzy and sometimes maybe aren't even nice and come across as a little bit brusque, a little bit harsher around the edges instead of soft and fuzzy. I can't wait to hear what you think. Please leave your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, keep finding the magic.